Okay, so now we need to clean up our mess a little bit and then do a couple more things. I'm going to put the grays up here like that. I'm going to take this and kind of straighten it out. Keep that path. You want to be able to see these paths pretty good, so you might want to take your master textures that you brought in and bring them over here like that. It's got a nice clean path. And then I like to take these two right here and move them off to the side because they're the ones that are the imported textures for this one. And then we can do this right here. Move this closer. And then there's another thing you can do that I like to do once you get it to a simple form like this right here. I could just push D and it nests it inside of there. All right, and if you double click on it, or if you push D again when you've selected it, it'll open it back up. Okay, so I've got two textures in there, and then I've got this nice and clean so I can see where that's going from. And now I've got a gradient map and here just to make this come in. Oh, I guess I don't even need that. Okay, so we're going to take this, drag it over here a little bit. We're going to do a little bit more dancing with these nodes though. So let's take a look. I want to make this, we want to get the curvature map out of here so we can put it on top like we did with the other textures because it's now just a flat gray. So we're going to take this node and I'm actually going to deselect it, push this, spacebar, curvature, and then just pick this one. And then I'm going to go ahead and go through there, and if you look at it and you get closer, you can see it looks like that. This time what we need to do is blend it on top of this. So there's a little trick and dancing we get to do here. If we try to do just a straight blend into here, it's fine, but once we put other things, it gets complaining. So let's just do a blend. I'll show you what I mean. It goes fine if it goes into the background one. If I put this in here, it gets that red thing, right? So there's a trick for that we can work on, we can play with. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that connection. And the trick is that if you do a gradient out of here, it ought to be fine going inside of there. Okay, and then I just push D to get it out of the way. Now, I'm still not crazy about this, so it needs a few more things to happen. It needs a levels, so I'm going to grab this one, go levels, which is right there. And then I'm going to mess with the levels so I can see some real differences in my lights and darks here. And pull that back up, push this in. You know, it might be easier if I do it one more step before that, and I come over here and I say blur, which is the top one right here. Move this over a little bit, take all these and just move them over just to breathe in room time, and we can rearrange in a second. Take this blur. Actually, we don't want that blur, come to think of it. So if you say backspace with the node selected, it'll delete that one and keep the connections that were there before it. So I click this, say blur, blur, and then I want to say high quality grayscale. Then I'll come in here and I will turn the intensity way down so we can see that a little bit more. Just a little bit. I just want some thicker lines in here. I can't remember if I did this first or second, so I will try and do it second and see what happens. We'll go to that, and this one goes to that. Yeah, that's a little bit better. So this is what I get from just the highs and lows, and this is the blur. So I get this nice, and this may be still too much, so I probably want like 0.2 maybe. And then I can mess with the highs a little bit more, like that. Okay. Then it's going in. So now I've got this overlapping basically my whole texture. Well, I just have to change it like a Photoshop file and change it down to, and I think the one that I liked the best was screen. Okay, because screen shows me this, and then I get to go back and mess with the other stuff. So I'm going to come back here and really, let's see, click this one so you can see it there, and then click this one so you can edit it. And we'll push these up a little bit. We'll take this in a little bit. Oh, it's this one. And pull this in up a little bit. There we go. And now we're getting our wall edges on here. May want to turn this blur up a bit just to get some more. Too much. You can probably also take this curvature and turn the intensity up. That's what I need to do. Turn the intensity up. So there you go. Now I've got that wall that's pretty much like what we had before. The other thing you need to do, I'm going to have you do for this, is make your curvature map, and then I want you to mess with these. So I want them to not just be flat colors. And I do want to put some noise into them. I know that they're gradient ramps and all. We've done that selection. But let's break up the way they're coming in. And the way to do that, again, is to grab this, say blend, to get to that. Actually, you know what? We'll come in here. We'll go out to blend. No, to, let's pick a gradient actually. Let's do a noise. Do black and white spots like that. This. And then we're going to do this one. I was right, a blend. And it's still fine. And we're going to drag this one into there. And of course it doesn't like it, so we're going to go gradient map. And then it's fine. We'll just go ahead and push D so it locks it in there. So we get it out of the way. We just know that's our filter into this. And then what we're going to do with this one is, after we can mess with it more in a second, but we'll just come into our blend and say overlay or something like that. So now we get this color overlay, and then we can come back to here and do some scale changes to see if we can get some, you know, bigger chunks on here, maybe disorder a little bit. And then what we could also do is another high quality gradient. So we'll just come in here and go blur, not high quality gradient, blur. There we go. And then we can look at this, and then we can click on this one and turn down the intensity. Turn up the quality there. And then we can come to here and look at this one, and we can also turn down the amount. So we're going to pull this back like that. And then what we'll do is we'll copy all of this, copy, paste, and throw it up here. I'm going to deselect this so it's not going to there. And we're going to take this one, go to U, and this one, and go to U. So we get our broken up wall. And that may be too much. It's all depending on what you're trying to do. And for a cartoon, it's probably a little big or a little splotchy. So maybe if we put it way big, like this, so it's really small anyway. Maybe. And then we come to our blur, and we turn our intensity up. There we go. So now we've got this all set up. We've got our wall in there. We've got this. Anyway, that's what you're going to be doing. Do all these little tricks. I'd love for you to use some of the new tools you learned when you were going through those videos. And we will have this for homework for Wednesday. Thanks.